hypothetically, that a sort of magic fairy comes to you right this second and proposes to you two offers. Option A being that you understand all the material in all your classes but receive low scores such as D's and F's. Or B, understand absolutely nothing in all your classes but receive an A, the perfect score, every single time. Which one would you pick? Be honest, I know which one I'd pick. If you picked option B, congratulations. You're probably like the person next to you. You're definitely like the person on stage. Why? Why would we pick option B where we learn absolutely nothing over option A? The answer is simple and really rather quite straightforward. It's because we realize that what's on a piece of paper, our report cards, is a lot more important than what's invisible and in our heads. And suddenly, our education system is not about learning anymore. Schools in the US came to be at the start of the Industrial Revolution, American Industrial Revolution, hundreds of years ago. It was meant for factory workers, and because we built on those times, we followed industrial age values, which consisted of just following orders. The students at the time were told to sit down, not talk, turn to page 394, 5, and raise their hands. I think that's recognizable. The reason that this was such a success back then was because factory worker jobs relied on them to follow instructions. Hold a lever, pack the box. We're not in that time anymore, as most of you can probably see. We can't just listen for a long while and get by with it. We can't just get by listening for a long while and be promised a job like we were able to do so in the past. Today, hundreds of years later, we're still told to sit down, not talk, turn to page 394, and raise our hands. Everything around us has evolved. Take a picture of a car in the 1950s and compare it to one in current times. They're different. Phones, I can assure you, they did not have Samsungs or iPhones in the 1950s. Even television. All of these things have changed, but take a picture of a classroom in the 1950s and compare it to one in current times, they're exactly the same, other than the fact that one is black and white. Time has evolved, but our education system hasn't. And this gets in the way of our full and proper education. Because the US insists on maintaining an education system that is based off of these archaic ideas, we as students continue to decline, regrettably. The US is inferior compared to the other 35 industrialized nations out there, Finland being one of the best. And we've all heard a lot about Finland. The thing is though, the US is trying to improve. Would we really spend $634 billion each year if they weren't trying to improve? Sadly, the US still looks at the wrong things. They look at other standardized tests and educational rankings, and being the competitive nation that the US is, craves the victory of being called number one at the expense of us, the students. It's drawn image. It is the last 20 minutes of class, you are hunched over your desk, scribbling away on a worksheet that your teacher assigned to you. Your teacher is walking around the classroom, handing back a test 2 weeks into your new chapter. Your name is called, and you look up, and your teacher hands you your paper with an expressionless expression on his or her face. You take your paper, you turn it around, and you feel that deep sense of dread and helplessness course through your body. You got a 60. Sound familiar? We focus more on cramming temporary knowledge than actually understanding the material. How many of you memorized the periodic table? Come on. How many of you remember the periodic table? We memorize things for a test and forget it the next day. And this is outrageous because we spend at least 13 years of our entire lives memorizing things that we're going to forget. The worst part, everyone knows we're going to forget them. I don't think the entire severity of what this actually means is shown with what I'm saying. We are being robbed of 13 years of our lives. After being given back that 60 and after being given back that test and receiving that 60 or 70 or even an 80, we don't go back to the material and study what we got wrong. Instead, we move on to the next chapter to repeat the same vicious cycle over and over again. The mindset to this is horrible and even toxic because it's telling us, you get it, great. You don't, well, too bad. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I see a bunch of faces in this audience, and I know that we're all completely different. Some of us are going to be businessmen, businessmen or businesswomen, actors, directors, lawyers, accountants. There's a large diversity of different people in this audience. Now, containing all these people with their different strengths and different weaknesses in the same place is negative to both sides of the body. The people with their strengths don't have a place to explore their tenacity, and the people with their weaknesses don't have an area to close a gap of knowledge. Instead, they're told that they should have paid attention in class, and the people with their strengths will never actually get to know their full potential. We are all unapologetically human, and instead of beating ourselves up for not meeting these offensive standards that are telling us, hey, you all are the same, and you all are going to memorize things at the same pace, is horrible. And we wouldn't build a house on an unsteady foundation, so why would we build another chapter when the first part isn't remotely stable? So how many of you have cheated before? Okay, fine, helped or had helped on a certain test or worksheet. It's okay. It's okay. We all have at some point in our lives. But the question is, why do we cheat? Is it because we're lazy? Because we don't want to do the work? In a survey of 24,000 high school students, 68% admitted to cheating on a test. 95% admitted to cheating on some other form, plagiarism or homework. That still doesn't answer the question as to why. I think we cheat because we're desperate, most of us at least. We want that good grade. We need to see that 4.0 GPA on our report cards. If we actually cared about what we were learning, if we actually cared about understanding material, we wouldn't care to cheat. And if we did, the only people we would be deceiving would be ourselves. I'm not justifying cheating. It's wrong and it's horrible. But if we look at the reasons as to why we cheat, it's really sad and depressing, and I don't know, maybe we should do something about it? After all, this is our education. I love learning. I think knowing is just beautiful. Like, did you know that the average human takes about 7 minutes to fall asleep? Or that bananas are curved because they grow towards the sun? How about that your brain generates more electrical impulses than all the telephones in the world combined, and that just as I finished the sentence, 50,000 cells have died and been replaced in all of our bodies? I think, no. I know that all of us love learning to some certain extent, but school grabs this beautiful and pure and innocent love of learning and molds it into something ugly and dark and malicious. Something that some of us tend to dread. Good job, education system. We are so worried about SAT, test scores, and homework, and we're so sleep deprived and anxious that we can't help but blame school for this never-ending vicious cycle that is forced upon us. Our education system is failing because we believe in a one-size-fits-all mentality, and we believe in an archaic background. When we as students realize that a study method is inefficient, we typically discard that idea and bring in one that works for us. It takes a lot of trial and error, but finally, when we finally get it, we prosper in memorization again. Just like that, we need to discard the system of its one-size-fits-all mentality and its archaic backgrounds. We need to remove pressure on getting that perfect GPA and focus strain on actually expanding our brains to knowledge. So how do we as students do that? We're tiny, sometimes less respected, and adults tend to question us a lot more just because of our age. Well, mosquitoes are tiny too, and they prove to be extremely effective, so we can start by educating ourselves. There are so many things that I haven't mentioned, so many things that I don't even know. We can start by educating ourselves and telling ourselves and acknowledging ourselves in our education system. Do it with your peers, start clubs, make surveys, raise statistics, make numbers your allies instead of your enemies. We can also help our cause in a different way. Taxes. We don't pay them, but adults do. And I don't think anyone would be pleased to know that $634 billion are being spent on a system that continues to fail. True education is not about test scores. It's not a letter on a piece of paper. True education is innovation and creativity and questioning and thinking. Somewhere along the lines of school, we forgot that. That's not what education means anymore. That's not what we think when we hear the word education. This is your right. This is your future. Are you really willing to be content on knowing that you could have been terrific, you could have been extremely successful, had the system been built differently? There's a quote I read online, and it goes, "Dead fish go with the flow." Sounds a bit intense, but guys, we've been treading on the same path for far too long. We've been following everything for far too long. It's time to make a change. Let's not be like dead fish anymore. Thank you.